farm, family, community. This is Midwest Farm Weekly.
Good morning, I'm Elaine Wells, and thanks for joining us on Midwest Farm Weekly. In your news headlines, enrollment is now open for the Dairy Margin Coverage Program. Farmers will have until April 29th to apply for that coverage in 2024. Payments may begin as early as March 4th, bringing some financial relief to those facing hardship. 80% of Wisconsin dairy farmers rely on this DMC program. It helps to cover costs when the price of milk and the cost of feed become disproportionate. President Biden is considering using executive powers to address the crisis at the border. Most likely, that would mean restricting access to the asylum program. But what about all of those migrant workers that come here legally to work on farms? John Lauritsen shows us how many farms have become dependent on this foreign labor program.
We're running about 1,000 acres of vegetables. And we also do corn, soybeans, and sweet corn.
But right now, it's the potatoes that are keeping Pete Van Urkel busy.
Years ago, there was farm kids on every farm site, and with ag background, and we're interested in ag, that era has been over with for a long time.
Which is why Pete began hiring help from other countries. In April, migrant workers will begin arriving for another growing season at Van Urkel Farms, part of what's called the H-2A visa program.
I normally get about a resume a day from somewhere across the pond, maybe from South America, maybe from Mexico.
If you didn't have this, where would your farm be right now?
Well, we certainly wouldn't be doing the vegetables anymore. You can't, we need people.
The program is in all 50 U.S. states, and it's estimated that 1 in 4 agricultural workers in the U.S. is now part of the H-2A visa program.
A percentage that Mary Garcia believes will continue to grow.
They simply cannot find enough U.S. workers to fill their seasonal temporary need.
Garcia is with the Department of Employment and Economic Development. She says H-2A workers receive a wage set by the government, and it's up to the farmer to supply them with transportation and housing, all of which is inspected by the state.
They leave their homes and their families for 10 months at a time and come here and work in our state and make 3 or 4 times more than what they could make back home.
Van Urkel isn't surprised demand for foreign workers is at an all-time high. He also views this as a food security issue. Without the help, he believes the food supply would shrink significantly.
We need people. We can talk automation, which we're always open to, but you still need people in our industry.
As part of that program, Van Urkel has to prove that he can't find enough local workers before he can bring in that foreign help. H-2A covers temporary agricultural labor. H-2B visas cover temporary non-agricultural labor like landscaping. The number of applications for that program has also increased significantly over the past 5 years. As we're soaking in warm temperatures, local grape growers are keeping a close eye on their vineyards. Prolonged warmth like this can fool the vines into thinking it is much later in spring. So far, they aren't budding, but with this weekend ahead, it could be cause for concern.
When you're a specialty crop farmer like we are growing grapes, you don't want it to warm up too early. For the sole purpose of it is you don't want early bud break. So especially if you have a frost event around the first or second week of May, you'd rather have it. Right now, it's not terribly bad unless it would continue. These are Northern Hardy hybrids, and they're made to withstand the Wisconsin winters. They're good till about 25, 30, 35 below zero. So they're in what they call a dormancy right now. They acclimated, and they'll start waking up here in another probably, again, around the first or second week of May. So you don't want too many warm days because that'll push them to wake up a lot earlier, meaning they'll start bud breaking, and you'll start having the green shoots and everything will come out. And if you have a frost event, that's where it can destroy your crop.
Ziegler Winery is located in Malone on the shores of Lake Winnebago. They produce wine with 100% Wisconsin grapes. A British insect farm is hatching a plan for a greener way to feed animals. They're breeding millions of flies in the fight against climate change. CBS's Tina Kraus reports from London.
This insect farm in London has scientists buzzing. They're breeding millions of black soldier flies to feed to animals.
It is the quickest, cheapest, most sustainable insect to farm, and it's a non-disease, non-pest species that's found all over the world.
The protein-packed pests are popular because they grow the fastest and can eat virtually any food waste. Climate experts say the bugs are better for the planet than traditional feed.
Right now, we cut down rainforests to produce soy, we overfish the oceans to catch fish meal, and then they get turned into protein feed that gets shipped all over the world again to feed the animals. It's incredibly unsustainable.
UK startup Intocycle aims to roll out its insect farming technology worldwide with robotic machines that count tens of thousands of fly eggs in seconds.
You can't farm insects if you don't know how many insects you have. And so it's really important to have it at that kind of key level when you are managing billions in real time.
Once their eggs are harvested, the larvae are fattened up on food waste before being turned into packageable protein.
So it's a pretty smart way of recycling all this stuff and making it useful.
As demand for animal feed surges, insect protein is proving to be a popular alternative, with some U.S. companies also banking on this livestock feed of the future.
It is estimated up to 1.2 trillion insects are raised on farms each year as companies race to find that high-protein, low-carbon solution to feed animals and truly the world's population. Welcome back to Midwest Farm Weekly. Manure applicators have several training events coming up across the state. Kevin Erb is here from the UW-Madison Division of Extension with all of those details. Good morning to you, Kevin.
Good morning.
'Tis the season for meetings. This is an important set of them. Tell us first who you think should be attending these events.
So we've been doing these for about 15 years, really providing information to the for-hire manure applicators. But what's interesting is we have a number of medium and large-size farms that are beginning to do their own manure application again. And so they're sending their crews to these safety training sessions as well.
I was just going to ask, employees are welcome. If there's somebody who's driving a truck for a custom operator, you should be here too.
Yep.
Part of this training involves being friendly with your neighbors, community relations, if you will.
Yep.
Why is that important?
Well, it's really important because unfortunately people smell with their eyes. And if they see something that looks dirty, they're automatically making assumptions. And obviously, agriculture is an incredibly important industry here in Wisconsin. And so if we can avoid creating situations, having that positive image, being courteous when you're driving, all the little things add up to be a big difference.
I thought it was interesting, your statistic on how much of our manure is moved by these custom operations.
Yeah, there's roughly 12 billion gallons of liquid dairy manure produced in the state, which could cover Lambeau Field to a depth of about 5 miles. But the for-hire manure applicators are moving about 60% of that. And what we know from the data from the DNR is that we're seeing that while they move almost 2/3 of it, they're responsible for less than 1/3 of the incidents and accidents that actually happen. So whether you're a farmer or a manure applicator, having people trained, it prevents accidents, and when something does happen, people know what to do and prevent a small problem from becoming a big one.
When we look at safety, that's certainly a topic you will be touching on, but from a lot of different aspects, certainly on the road, but also when you're working with manure, which can have gases.
Right, and so knowing that manure gases can be generated, the safety procedures to take, the gas monitors to wear, all those little things add up because it just takes one minor accident, one minor moment of not thinking straight, and you can have a problem. So covering the safety of manure gases, but also safety around pressure, equipment, all of those things are covered during the training.
We saw you have a wide variety of locations this is being offered. An online version as well?
We're doing a remote version via Zoom, but we're doing it in person all around the state. In fact, this year we're actually doing a Spanish version. We've had a request for that. So they're definitely open and available to any farmer, manure applicator, or their employees that want to attend.
You'll do them in person, then you get the Cheetos and Mountain Dew, right? We were just chatting about that. Kevin, what do people need to know to sign up for this? What's the cost?
Well, they can go online to the go.wis.edu/2024 Manure 101. Sign up online, and in advance it's $10, $15 at the door. And it's about 3 hours in length, but we really try to make it engaging and informative.
And as far as this being required, not necessarily technically, but this is something that a lot of our applicators have chosen to do.
Exactly. We take more than 400 people a year through this training. There's a number of insurance companies that look at this as safety training. And for farms and manure applicators, they'll knock anywhere from 10 to 30% off of their business liability insurance for going through a safety training and making changes in their operations. So there's an economic reason for farms to consider this as well.
Something to highlight if you have attended these trainings in the past or you're looking to connect this future. Once again, here is a look at the extensive number of communities and the online option. We'll have a link to register on our website. Thank you for being here.
Yep, thank you.
Good morning, I'm Storm Team 5 meteorologist Alexis Staniak. Nice to actually see some kind of snowpack on the ground. As of Thursday, we had about an inch to maybe an inch and a half still left on the ground from the system earlier this week, but that will melt off quickly with warmer temperatures this weekend. This winter from December 1st until now continues to be the warmest winter on record ever, with an average temperature around 31 degrees. And as February has now ended, it is the warmest February to date. Our average temperature was at almost 34 degrees, well above what the previous warmest February was from back in 2012, with an average temperature of around 29 degrees. Now, with the warmer temperatures, we have less snow that's come through. So far for the season, we've accumulated about 33 inches, below average and now below where we sat just a year ago. In 2023 at this time, we accumulated about 48 inches. Now, heading into March, there's still a chance to see snow. Our average precipitation for snowfall is usually around 8 inches. For rain, almost 2 inches. Average low temperature for this new month around 24 degrees, and our average high temperature is just over 40 degrees. So a warmer month, still the chance for snow though, but these temperatures as we head into the weekend are so above average. 58 for your Saturday, 62 on Sunday. So much different than what we saw this past Wednesday with frigid temperatures. 61 on Monday, and then we stay consistent with temperatures in the mid to upper 40s as we continue through this first full week of March. Now, the Climate Prediction Center continues to keep us in this well above average for category for temperatures as well, heading in the next 10 to almost 14 days. However, we are in a below normal category for precipitation. So into March, it looks like we're seeing true El Nino colors come out with above average high temperatures and below normal chances for precipitation to move through. Stay with us. More Ag News coming up after the break.
Well, Jeremy Hansen here from Fox Valley Technical College for Life on the Farm. And joining me today is Jake Haywish. Jake, thank you so much for your time today. But first and foremost, you're the 2024 Wisconsin Young Farmer Award winner, correct?
Correct.
So, yeah, congratulations. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that today.
Sure.
So, first of all, that is an honor indeed. But when did you really want to start farming?
At a young age. My mom tells a story of how I knew where the cows belong in the barn before I knew my colors. Oh. So she was pretty convinced at that point, and from there on out, it's just been an ongoing road that has been easy for me to make decisions along the way on where to spend my time and what kind of education to grasp.
Right. Well, tell me a little bit about your farm.
So I'm the fifth generation.
Mm-hmm.
I farmed, or my uncle and dad farmed together. They did some consolidation in 1999. Built a freestall barn and brought their herds together. Built a double 6 flat barn parlor. Mm-hmm. And 2013 we built a calf barn, and which was a big step. And then in 2015 we added a year's worth of manure storage. We say we don't want to grow, we just want to improve and become more efficient.
Right. Well, and with that growing and efficiency, you have some pretty interesting herd statistics too on your cows, right?
Oh, sure.
Well,
yes.
I think you do. I think you do. So,
Yep.
tell me about your cows a little bit.
Yeah, so our cows we are actually one cow away from being 100% A2 genetics, which is the beta casein in the protein in the milk that has a claim to fame to allow lactose intolerant people to drink A2 milk and not see the side effects that from a normal conventional A1 A2 milk would give them. So that's been a transition or a process that my dad started probably 15 years ago with just breeding with A1 or A2 bulls only, and then in about 2018 we decided we were going to register the herd, which meant we were going to genomic test the entire herd, which then gave us the results of what cows actually were A2. Mm-hmm. And then we advance the genetics to breed the A2 cows to A2 bulls.
Your family and your family farm, took steps to allow you to transition, correct?
Yes, so from a young age, my parents were very diligent about I have 3 siblings, and we all have had the opportunity to be part of the farm along the way. My other 3 siblings have been a part of the farm because they were forced to, I will say. Labor through high school, and they realized after those 12 years of their life or whatever this wasn't their cup of tea. So my parents, we have it laid out with a transition plan and estate planning, and all that goes in that plan.
Jake, you have been through Fox Valley Tech, correct?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, tell me what your program is, and I really want to point out that you do remain active with us to this day, correct?
Sure, I do, yeah. So I graduated in 2011, and I graduated with a farm operations degree or certificate. But I also did take all the core classes of animal science, ag power, and agronomy. But I don't have any proof of that. But that's because I went for what I wanted to do. I didn't need the other credits, so that was my choice, and I'm okay with that.
Right. And you serve as an advisory member on
the Farm Operations Advisory Committee Board, yes. So and that's a great piece that I feel like I can give back to the community and help steer that program.
And we appreciate that as well, Jake. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate the few minutes we could spend today.
No problem. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Jeremy.
So thanks. So for Life on the Farm, I'm Jeremy Hansen.
Welcome back. The impact of 4-H is growing in Wisconsin. A new report shows membership jumped more than 8% last year statewide. Melinda Pollen is a Brown County 4-H youth development educator here with a look at all of those findings. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, this is a great document. If you have time, take a look at the whole thing. We'll post a link online. But what were some of your major takeaways from it?
I think the big takeaway for me is that 4-H is here, it's thriving and growing, and it's open to everyone in Wisconsin who wants to be part of the 4-H program. It's really exciting to see our numbers start to increase again.
Mm-hmm.
We all took a hit during that COVID timeframe, and we're really starting to see that rebound now. And lots of new opportunities and ways for young people to get connected with the Wisconsin 4-H program statewide.
I was looking at the graphic that showed how many people are involved. What is the rough number? It's huge.
Yeah, there's approximately 26,000 young people involved in the 4-H program, and so that's a huge amount of young people. And there's a huge amount of young people that are not engaged in the 4-H program, and so we really, really would love to reach out to those folks and get them connected to all of the great things that 4-H can bring to them.
Another graphic I saw in the report talked about meeting kids where they're at. What does that mean?
Yeah, it means that we know that there are barriers to get kids to come to things. And so how can we as 4-H staff members across the state work to meet young people where they're already gathering? What does that look like, and how do we reach them in schools, in after-school programs, in community clubs, all of the different ways where young people are already gathering? How can we bring 4-H to them?
I did not grow up in 4-H. I have now transitioned into not only taking my son, but becoming a Clover Bud leader, and have learned so much about the wide range of projects that are offered. Because there are the traditional showmanship categories where people work really hard with animals, but looking at the top 10, there's a lot of other areas where students are excelling.
There really are. So this is the beauty of what 4-H is. 4-H has 300 or so different projects that young people can choose from. If you can't find something in the 4-H program that connects with you, right? And what I love about 4-H is that it is all about what you individually want to get out of that. So arts and photography, foods and nutrition, woodworking projects, all of those are real, hands-on, curriculum-based projects for young people to explore and see if it's your spark.
I know that some of our more urban areas, you're working with Brown County, and at the fair, there's been huge jumps in kids showing poultry. Yes. They're showing the smaller animals because they can do that in their community.
Correct. Yeah, the accessibility of backyard, the whole idea of backyard chickens and poultry projects, seeing that jump. We're also seeing one of our newer kind of adventures is getting into in-school clubs around things like Chick Quest, where one of our educators or a volunteer brings in and we hatch chickens in a classroom for a period of time. So lots of new ways to try to reach new young people.
And whether it's at their meeting, learning the proper way to run a meeting, meeting with our local legislators, these students are taking these skills into the real world.
Well, that's what 4-H is really all about, is how do we provide young people the opportunity to be successful in their life. Yeah. And so whatever project that is, it is building their skills that will make them a productive person moving into their adult life and career. So come find your spark here, learn the leadership and the development skills, all of the life skills that go along with that, and that will help you in the future in your career and the rest of your life, really.
The best part is there's a club near you, so if you head to the 4-H website, you can sort by where you live and who is nearby, find a meeting time that works well for your family. Melinda, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
We'll post that full report online if you want to take a further look at how 4-H is making an impact in Wisconsin. Have a good weekend.